And if you've watched any of the other behind the scenes videos, you know that they usually end with some sort of like happy ending. No, but this one, I believe it's the third or fourth episode of behind the scenes, and yeah, a lot to get off my chest for this one. So if you follow Kids Takeover on Instagram, at Kids Takeover IG, you know that I recently came back from Toronto. I took a trip there for like a week and a half or so, and basically as soon as I came back, I jumped straight to Instagram and I started talking about how disappointing the trip was and just like how many things ended up going wrong. I mentioned that there was a lot of things that I wanted to get off my chest about you know, things that I expected to happen but didn't. But then I realized, like, you know, instead of putting it all into like an Instagram story, why not just, you know, sit down and just explain why the trip went so horrible and the reasons why I think so many things were so unfortunate for me. So let's rewind a bit, all right? It's like a month back and I realized, you know, my school semester is done. I have time where I can just travel and make content for KTO and, you know, network with people in the industry. I figured, you know what? Where are all the artists right now? You know, I thought of two places straight up. I thought of Atlanta and then I thought of Toronto. So I sat down with my dad. I'm like, hey, there's just so much opportunity in Toronto for my company and you know, I just need you to book me a flight there. So I guess I sold him on it and then he just gave me like a budget of money to, you know, for all my travel expenses. So it's about a month before going there. All I'm doing, I'm emailing, I'm DMing, you know, I'm finding every single person I can, just hitting them up. Yo, let's do an interview. I reached out to so many people. Like I'm talking about people who are higher up, like in the labels of the OVO, XO, and then, you know, people that are just coming up that I feel like are so talented. I reached out to so many people and dude, I ended up getting 6 yeses. And you guys may be wondering, like, is 6 a lot? Is that not much? Yo, I'm there for like a week and a half. So for that span, getting 6 interviews is like, dude, I literally came with the intention thinking that I was gonna get content for the next 4 months. And of course, right now, I can't really say the names of which interviews I got, but just know that some of them were super talented or just really high up. So, okay, you guys know I don't have a huge team with me. I go to Toronto with my 2 brothers. The first day or two, I really just wanted to settle in Toronto, you know, get comfortable, but I spent all my nights writing these questions for these interviews. So finally, the first interview is about to happen, all right? Like I spoke to the manager, we picked a nice location, it was a studio, we set the time and everything. So I got all my papers, all my equipment, everything, and we just, you know, Ubered to the location. It was about like $25 to $30 and whatnot. I mean, since I was getting an interview, it was worth it. So we get to the location, you know, they're not there yet. So I figured, let's just get some establishing shots of the studio. We got those and it just ended up getting super cold because, you know, in Toronto, yo, it's cold, all right? So I ended up getting super cold and we said, it's fine, you know, there's a McDonald's across the street. We'll just wait there until the artist gets to the studio. So we're just there inside the McDonald's, you know, all our equipment, just waiting there. And then waiting there even longer, constantly just checking my text messages to see if I got any reply. My brothers are just pretty much waiting for me to give them any info. And man, like 2 hours passed by, like 2 to 3 hours, okay? I finally get that notification on my phone and man, I get a voice note sent to me, all right? And then I listen to it and he pretty much says, hey man, about the interview, we gotta reschedule that to tomorrow because my artist right now actually isn't even in downtown Toronto. He's like 4 hours away in a different city. So I just didn't even comprehend like how that was possible. Like how could you have given me the information to be there when you guys aren't even in the same city? But okay, regardless, you know, like I obviously got pissed off, but I couldn't show it to the manager because it's just like unprofessional or whatnot. So obviously we had to Uber home, you know, add another $25, that's $50, all wasted that night. So at that point, one of my brothers actually had to fly back to New York. You know, he was kind of bummed out that he didn't get to be there in the interview. So I had to like put a story on Kids Takeover's Instagram and be like, I'm looking for help. I need a videographer to help me on the set tomorrow. And luckily, you know, some of you guys in Toronto actually came through. I really appreciate you guys. You know, I literally just said, can someone help me tomorrow? And I got some DMs of people saying like, yo man, I'll drop everything I'm doing. So that night I'm kind of like relaxed. I'm like, you know what? It's all good. It didn't happen. You know, all these people want to help me with the interview. We'll do it tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. Except when you're in a totally different city, you have all these different plans you made, but then you gotta dedicate a whole entire day to rescheduling the interview. And then the next day comes and I'm waiting there. I'm waiting there for like a time, like a location, just, you know, I have to drop everything else. I can't just go downtown, enjoy a nice meal, and then randomly they just message me like, yo, come to this location and do it. Like, you know, I have to literally just stay at home, check my phone, wait for a notification, and then Uber to them. And that's pretty much what just happened, you know? The entire day passed by of me just texting them and not getting any response. So that whole next day where it was supposed to be rescheduled wasted. But hey, remember, there was 6 artists in total that I was gonna interview, so I just moved to the next one. Man, with this artist, it was just so different. Like, back in Vancouver, I would message their management and they would be like, hey man, yeah, just come fly to Toronto. Like, we'll just do it in the first couple days that you're there. And then finally, when I spend my money and get to Toronto, they just ghost me. And with those remaining artists, dude, this just became an entire cycle where I would prepare, get canceled on over and over and over again. Until at some point, I'm like, yo, there's 2 days left in this trip and I've done nothing but get canceled on. Like, seriously, there was 2 days left and I didn't get a single interview. And I really thought that their teams would understand how much money and time I really put into this. Like, okay, time is one thing. I can spend all day waiting in McDonald's practicing questions. That's at least doable. But yo, asking your dad for large amounts of money and having all that pressure on you to make something out of it in a whole different city, all to come back with nothing, like, that's actually a gut-wrenching feeling. I got so frustrated. I just like went for a walk in this park, like Trinity Bellwoods Park or something, and I was seriously just like thinking, I don't get it. As a manager, as an artist even, how can you sit there and be like, yeah, I just made this dude waste hundreds of dollars and hours of his time, but you know, whatever, time to go record this album. Like, I sincerely wonder if artists have sympathy for anyone. At the end of the day, like, we're all humans, okay? Like, Drake is a human, Lil Yachty is a human. We all have feelings, okay? But at that point, I was seriously contemplating, these guys aren't human. They're literally a different breed of people. And I want people who are just thinking of going towards the music/entertainment industry, like, yo, this is how it's gonna be. And well, maybe if you're an upcoming artist, I kind of understand like why a rapper would ignore you, like not want to be featured on your song or whatnot. Like, that kind of makes sense to me. They might just not like your music. But yo, I literally created this platform to sit down with them and share their story. It's tough, man, it's tough. And if you've watched any of the other behind the scenes videos, you know that they usually end with some sort of like happy ending. No, but this one, it just really ends with me being lost back at home, you know, like questioning, am I actually good at what I do? Like, these type of things actually make you want to quit, right? So instead of quitting, I figured, why not try to break down the core reasons for why this keeps on happening to me? And that's really just, I need to gain the respect of these artists. Not just the artists, but their managers, their team members, like all of them. I'll give you a good example. I know you guys know what No Jumper is, right? Like, artists watch No Jumper. Artists follow the No Jumper Instagram page. Managers watch No Jumper. Managers know who Adam22 is. Smaller artists watch No Jumper. Big artists watch No Jumper because they want to see what other artists are coming up. DJ Academics, you know, like, all the artists follow Academics. You might not know it, but a lot of them probably even tune into his live streams. Lyrical Lemonade, the company that Cole Bennett made, like, these artists, these managers, these publicists, they all watch their music videos. It's just not even a question. Like, there's a mutual respect between both of them. And don't get me wrong, it's obviously about like the clout and the views and stuff. That's one of the first things that they look at when trying to find a media outlet to interview them. But on the other hand, if someone genuinely enjoys watching my interviews and they're an artist, when I reach out to their management, they're gonna have that mutual respect and be like, hey man, yeah, I've seen his videos. Like, that guy's so sick at interviewing. Like, I love his animations. I love his graphics. Like, so I think if someone genuinely likes my interviews and watches the one-on-ones, the FaceTimes, or the behind the scenes, and they see how much I seriously hustle to make this media outlet work, I think it's a no-brainer that they'll be more inclined to do the interviews with me. So with all of that being said, I think going forward, I need to actually sit down and think of some strategies to make these rappers, you know, watch my content. I need them to actually have the Kids Takeover brand in their head and just like think about it from time to time. That's why, hey, I'm always like pushing for and encouraging people to comment on the discussion posts and like tag artists because, yo, I genuinely want them to see it. And it's worked before. So I just did the interview with Anthony Killoffer. When I reached out to his manager, like, he mentioned that he'd actually already seen my work. And because of that, like, when I was speaking to him and like arranging a time to do it, it just felt so much more natural and at ease. I was like, damn, why can't it be this easy every single time I try to reach out to an artist? But yeah, okay, I hope you guys know that I'm not just making this video to, you know, complain about what's going on. A big part of why I even started KTO was just, I wanted to inspire young people and show them that, yo, it doesn't matter like what your age is, what circumstances you have in your life. Like, you know, you can grow your own media outlet. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter about your age. I want to be able to give you that info that other channels might not give you. So yeah, for anyone who's like on their own grind, whether they're an upcoming artist, they run their own business or whatnot, like, man, just know if there's a song that you put out, it's not like getting the buzz you wanted to, or you know, like there's someone you want to collaborate with and it didn't happen yet. There's people that are going through similar stuff as you, and it could honestly be worse. So don't feel like it's the end of the world, okay? But yeah, you can let me know in the comments what you thought of this video. I'd love to read all of them. You know, I try to reply to all the comments. Don't forget to follow KTO on Instagram at Kids Takeover IG. There's a lot of exclusive stuff over there. But yeah, you guys are watching behind the scenes. Yo, so I know I have not posted in a while, but after that Toronto trip, like, why would I want to post? You know, I was just like super unmotivated and pretty overworked. And because of that, I'm even hiring an intern. So if you're interested in that, you know, check the description ASAP. But it's time for the top comment. On the last video, Isaac Floyd said, "This interview really has the info I'm looking for. Good shit." Yo, Isaac, man, I appreciate you. If you guys have not seen that Anthony Killoffer interview, I would check it out. It was like one of my best interviews. And of course, subscribe to the channel because I just don't see why you wouldn't.